Three, two, one. Hi! So, today's video, right, the quality of the camera might not be as good as my previous video because of some reason, but I'm gonna be trying my best, okay, my best to give you guys the best lesson, the best practical guide on how you can actually be consistent at doing positive things, exercising, studying, practicing your art, reading some book, anything. In fact, I have rehearsed for today's video though. And yeah, hi, my name is Laksana, just an average person who's also struggling and been documenting my own consistency journey online for hundreds of days. One of my biggest achievements in being consistent is that I currently have a 82 or 83 days, I think 82 days morning push-up streak. Okay, morning push-up streak, okay, fully documented on my Instagram. You can just check it out. And you know what? If you actually want to change your life to the better through implementing some positive things consistently, I want to say thank you. Thank you for actually caring about your life. So this is January 28, 2025, and this is going to be day 204 of consistently helping people build consistency. I got a story, right? This might be a pretty relatable story for you guys. So basically, I just, like let's say I just watched some motivational videos about some speakers telling about how they get from point A to point B, basically just transforming his life into like this one really cool guy, right? And, I don't hate, okay? I don't hate this kind of content, right? I actually like it. I love it. But you know, I think like even that I get motivated, even if I get motivated after I watch those kind of content, I still kind of like feel some sense of hopelessness, some sense of fear. Because yeah, even if currently I'm really motivated and yeah, I want to change my life, blah 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 blah, like there's this one, like one kind of like awareness, one feeling, this subtle feeling inside of my heart, that what, like 2 till 3 days from now, I'm not going to be as motivated as I'm currently feeling. Like this feeling of motivation isn't going to last forever. Like the or maybe like 30 minutes from now, I'm just going to be like go back scrolling for hours on TikTok and Instagram, blah 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 blah. So I don't know, this might be a pretty relatable story of you guys, but I believe that I think that it's gonna be way better for these motivational speakers, for them not only to give motivational stories, but also give us the practical guide on how to actually be consistent at doing something, like the step-by-step, like practical guide that we can actually implement right here, right now. Maybe they can tell us to set on an alarm. So every single day we are gonna be reminded to do that particular thing, the exercising, the studying, the anything on that particular time of the day. So basically, the function of this alarm is to remind us to do our thing, right? So basically, this motivational speaker tell us, let's just say he told us to set an alarm, which is a really really practical way. But not only that, he gives us some practical guide, right? I i think that it's just going to be way much better if he also give a really specific guide, okay, maybe like some advanced guide that we have never taught before, right? Some methods that we've never taught before, right? So for example, not only that, he tell us to set on an alarm so we can remember to do our thing. He also tell us to change the alarm tone, right? Instead of just saying beep 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 beep, maybe like just change the alarm into some motivational song or maybe some motivational speech, okay? The alarm tone, right? So every single time the alarm beeps, the alarm rings, it's gonna, the probability of us getting motivated to actually do the thing is going to be bigger because we are going to be, listening to the motivational song, listening to the motivational speech. And, the probability of us actually doing it is going to be bigger precisely because we are being reminded of our reasons why we want to do those things on the first place, right? So, again, first thing first, they give us, practical steps, but not only practical steps, but advanced steps, right? So like really specific steps, right? But also not only that, they give us the practical steps, I think it's just going to be way better for them to also give us the reasoning, right? The reasoning behind why it's going to be effective, okay? Why the method is going to be effective, right? Just as I've mentioned before, right? So why it's effective, why this setting an alarm and change the tone, the alarm tone into some motivational speech is going to be effective, is that because we are going to be reminded, right? Of our reason. So even on the days when we are not motivated, which we are gonna experience, right? Like it's pretty unreasonable and not really realistic to expect ourselves to become motivated like 100% of the time. So like even on the days when we are feeling lazy, we are gonna be reminded of our reasons why we do this thing in the first place. And even like I think they could if they can even like give even way more like specific advice. So instead of just changing our alarm tone into some motivational song or motivational speech, we can even make it even way more personal. For example, we can just like record our own our own voice reading all the reasons why we do this thing on the first place. Oh, you know what, I want to be healthy. Oh, you know what, I want to have better grades. I want to be, I want to make my family proud, blah, 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 blah. We read it all and then we record it as a voice note and then we use that voice note as the alarm tone, right? So this might be, this might give us a more personal, sense of, oh yeah, I need to do this thing. But not only that I expect these motivational speakers to give us the, like the practical guide and then also like the reasoning. I think it's just going to be way better for them to also give the pros and cons, right? So the pros, like the pros are already mentioned, but the cons might be like, oh, you know what? Like personally, if you use this kind of like personal voice note as your alarm, you might cringe yourself, blah 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 blah. Because actually that happened to me, right? That happened to me. I use my personal voice note as my alarm tone, and I end up not listening to them most of the times because I ends up, like shutting it off before it even, like it even rings because I cringe myself. So that's one thing to consider.